Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 1994 Regional Municipality of Peel Inaugural Meeting of Council. We're coming to you from the Cothra Park Secondary School, and the meeting is just about to start. I'm your host, Jake Deere, and with me is someone who doesn't need any introduction. He served, in fact, on the council for the city of Mississauga, as well as for the region for 10 years. And now he is the MPP for Mississauga West, Steve Mahoney. Steve,
Jake,
welcome.
nice to be here. This is a very special night for the region of Peel.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. This is their 20th year.
I understand that, and a special night for the 21 members of council. Of course, a nervous night for Emil Kolb to see whether or not he's challenged or returned as chair, and an interesting night because we have new members of council coming out of the Caledon community, one new one out of Mississauga, some new ones in Brampton, and we have the returning veterans, of course, who bring the strength and the solidity to this regional council.
Let's talk about the challenge. Do you think Emil will have any challenges?
My guess would be no. I think Emil is very well respected and well thought of by both his colleagues on council, by the staff, and by the people that he represents. So I would be surprised if there was anyone coming forward. We've not heard of it. I should tell you that I went down to the room where they're doing the photographing of the councillors to see if I could get a mover and a seconder, and they threw me out. So I guess he's got no threat from me.
You want to make more money, do you?
Well, that's the whole idea. But
doesn't MPP pay much?
Emil Kolb's a terrific guy, and I think he'll be fine.
Yeah, he's a very good guy. Now, why are we up here on the rafters?
We're up above. I guess there's no hockey in Maple Leaf Gardens, so they've put us up in the gondola.
I think they're about to start here.
Okay.
So.
Before we begin this evening's meeting, I would like to make a few announcements. We've had a small change to our agenda. The Lieutenant Governor of Ontario will not be in attendance this evening. He's been called to Queen's Park to read the prorogation speech because the legislature will be rising. I'm delighted to announce that we have a special guest in attendance who will speak later in the program, the Honorable William Davis. And now I would like to ask everyone to rise for the processional of Regional Council and to remain standing for the playing of the national anthem.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bonnie Zarin, and I'm the Regional Clerk. In accordance with the Regional Municipalities Act, I will preside over this meeting until the Regional Chair is elected. I am honored to welcome each of you to this evening's inaugural meeting of Council, and would like to hereby call this meeting to order. This is the 9th inaugural since our region's incorporation and marks the 20th anniversary of Peel. I would now like to call upon the Reverend Robert J. Payton, pastor of St. John's Anglican Church in Mississauga, to bring us the invocation. Reverend Payton.
As we remain standing, may I ask you to bow your heads in prayer, please. Almighty God, creator of all, from whom comes every good and perfect gift, we beseech you this evening to send forth upon your servants who bear office in the regional municipality of Peel the spirit of prudence, charity, and justice. We pray for them in the coming years of their term, for good government, a sound vision, justice and compassion for all inhabitants, a longing to serve, a sense of stewardship of the gifts we use which have come from you, that they may in all things walk before you with steadfast purpose and a single heart, and faithfully serve all people due this responsibility. This we ask in your holy name. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Payton. Everyone, please be seated. At the beginning of each council meeting, we normally have a roll call, but this evening we'll take the opportunity to introduce each regional councillor. I would like to call upon Michael Garrett, Peel's Chief Administrative Officer, to make the introductions. Mr. Garrett?
Thank you, Bonnie. Is this working? Not yet? Here we go. It gives me great pleasure to introduce each member of the new regional council to you. Tonight we'll start alphabetically, and I'd ask each councillor to stand while I make a few remarks. First, Councillor Rhoda Begley. Rhoda was acclaimed as regional councillor to serve wards 8 and 9 in Brampton for a third term. Councillor Begley chaired the 1994 Human Services Committee and has sat on all regional council standing committees. She is president of the Bramley Little Theatre, as well as an active member of the Peel Children's Aid Society and a member of St. Leonard's House Board. Councillor Begley was also named Woman of Achievement for the City of Brampton this year. Rhoda. Councillor Lorna Bissell. Lorna was elected for a second term to serve as regional councillor for Brampton's wards 1 and 5, and a fourth term on the City of Brampton Council. Councillor Bissell has served on numerous boards, including the Art Gallery of Peel, the Metropolitan Toronto and Region Conservation Authority, the Peel Children's Aid Society, and is the region's representative on the Association of Municipalities of Ontario's Board of Directors. She chaired the 1994 Regional Budget Subcommittee and the 1994 Housing Committee, and was a member of the Waste Management Ad Hoc Committee. Councillor Carmen Corbison was elected to Mississauga Council to represent Ward 1. Councillor Corbison was previously the administrative assistant to Councillor Kennedy in Ward 1. Her volunteer affiliations include the Red Cross Society, St. John Ambulance, and the Hospice of Peel. Councillor David Cullum was re-elected to Mississauga Council to represent Ward 6, the city's largest ward with 71,000 residents, a position he has held since 1981. Councillor Cullum was the founding director of Friends of the Valley, has served as a director on Peel Living, Mississauga City Centre Opera Board, Counteract Anti-Vandalism Committee, the Mississauga Clean City Campaign, and has been chairman of the Mississauga Public Vehicle Authority. Councillor Frank Dale was re-elected to serve Mississauga in Ward 4, a position he has held for the last 6 years. Councillor Dale is the chair of the region's Official Plan Steering Committee and was chair of the region's 1994 Planning Committee and an executive member of the Credit Valley Conservation Authority. Some of his volunteer affiliations include the 1994 Mississauga Chair of the Kidney Foundation, Chair of the Mississauga Youth Theatre, and a former Chair of the Mississauga Valley Community Association. Councillor Susan Fennell was re-elected for a second term to serve as Regional Councillor for Wards 3 and 4 and a third term at the City of Brampton Council. An Honours Science graduate from the University of Toronto, Councillor Fennell was Chair of the Region's 1993 Budget Subcommittee, Vice Chair of the Regional Strategic Planning Committee, and an executive member of the Credit Valley Conservation Authority. She is a Brampton Council representative on the Brampton Board of Trade, the Airport Tri-Municipal Committee, Senior Citizens Council, and is a board member of Peel Living and Chincoosea Health Services Board. Councillor Fennell is also a governor of Sheridan College. Councillor David Hughes was elected to serve as Regional Councillor for Ward 1 in Caledon. Formerly an area councillor for Ward 1, David Hughes has served on the Niagara Escarpment Commission and was a past member of the Ontario Economic Council. Councillor Nando Unica could not be here with us tonight as he is out of the province due to a family illness. But Councillor Unica was re-elected to serve Mississauga in Ward 7, a position he has held since 1988. Councillor Unica is the first Mississauga City Councillor to represent a ward in which he was born. His volunteer affiliations include the Red Shield Appeal for the Mississauga Salvation Army, Director of the Mississauga Hospital Foundation, and he was a founding member of the Neighborhood Watch program. Councillor Pierre Klein. Pierre is a newly elected Regional Councillor for Ward 5 in Caledon. A former Peel Board of Education school trustee in both Mississauga and Caledon, Councillor Klein was the Chair of the Audit Committee, Vice Chair of the Physical Planning Committee, and was appointed to the Legislative Joint Advisory Committee between the public and separate school boards for the Peel Board of Education. Councillor Katie Mahoney was acclaimed to Mississauga Councillor for Ward 8 to serve a second term. Councillor Mahoney was Vice Chair of the Region's Human Services Committee, Chair of the Red Shield Appeal for the Mississauga Salvation Army, and has served on the boards of the Peel Children's Aid Society, Peel Living, Mississauga Library, Peel District Health Council, the Public Vehicle Advisory Committee, and the Heritage Advisory Committee for Mississauga. Her volunteer affiliations include the Canadian Cancer Society and the Erin Oak Treatment Center. Councillor Hazel McCallion was re-elected to serve as Mayor for the City of Mississauga, a position she has held since 1978. A former Deputy Reeve, and also the Mayor of the town of Streetsville, Mayor McCallion was first elected to serve as Regional Councillor in 1974. Her community involvements include the Credit Valley Hospital Board, Advisory Council for University Scholarships of Canada, and Advisory Council on the Transportation of Dangerous Goods. She also serves on the Board of Directors of the Association of Municipalities of Ontario. Councillor Frank McKechnie was re-elected to serve Mississauga in Ward 5. Having served for 36 years, Councillor McKechnie is the Region of Peel's longest-serving councillor and has served on every council committee. Councillor McKechnie is the Chair of the Airport Tri-Municipal Committee and a member of the Metropolitan Toronto and Region Conservation Authority and the License Appeal Board. He was a founding member of the Mississauga Residential Condominium Committee and is a director of the Malton Neighborhood Services Board. Councillor Gail Miles was re-elected to serve for a second term as Regional Councillor for Wards 7 and 11 in Brampton, a third term on the City of Brampton, pardon me. Councillor Miles served as Vice Chair of the Region's Management Committee in 1994 and has chaired the Administration and Finance Committee, Budget Committee, and the Corporate Plan Steering Committee for the City of Brampton. She has served as a director of the Brampton Crime Prevention Association, Peel Memorial Hospital Board, and the Peel Children's Aid Society. Councillor Marilyn Morrison was elected to serve Ward 2 in Caledon. A former Peel Board of Education school trustee for Wards 1 and 2 in Caledon, Marilyn Morrison served as Vice Chair of the Peel Board of Education. She has served as a member of SAFE Committee, Caledon, and Road Watch, as well as on the Strategic Planning Committee for the Peel District Health Council. Councillor Pat Mullen was re-elected to serve Mississauga Ward 2. She has held that position since being appointed in 1985. Prior to that, she was a Peel Board of Education school trustee for 9 years. Councillor Mullen has served the community as chair on the Police Services Board for 1993-94. and on the Credit Valley Conservation Authority and the Airport Tri-Municipal Committee. Councillor Paul Paleschi. Paul was acclaimed as Brampton Regional Councillor to represent Wards 2, 6, and 10. Councillor Paleschi served 2 terms as City Alderman for Brampton and 1 term as Regional Councillor. He has served as Vice Chair of the Budget Committee for Brampton and as an Executive Member on the Metropolitan Toronto and Region Conservation Authority and as a Director for Peel Living. Councillor Maya Prentice was also acclaimed to Mississauga Council for Ward 3, a position she has held since 1985. Councillor Prentice was a provincial appointee to the Peel Regional Housing Authority, Chair of the region's 1993 Housing Committee, the 1992 Budget Committee, and chaired the Mississauga Committee on Obscenity, and currently she is President of Peel Living. Councillor Prentice has served as the President of both the Applewood Hills Homeowners Association and the Applewood Unit of the Canadian Cancer Society. Councillor Peter Robertson was re-elected for a 2nd term to serve as the Mayor of Brampton. Councillor Robertson was first elected to serve as a Brampton Regional Councillor for Wards 2, 6, and 10 in 1976. Mayor Robertson has served in public office since 1968 when he was elected as a Gore School trustee. Currently, he serves as a member of the Police Services Board, the Brampton Hydro Commission, the Brampton Race Relations Action Council, and as a director of the Chincoosea Health Services Board. Councillor Pat Sado was re-elected for a 2nd term to serve Mississauga Ward 9. Councillor Sado was a vice chair of the region's 1994 Budget Subcommittee and Public Works Committee. She was also the founding chair for the Peel Crime Prevention through Environmental Design Committee and a founding member of the Mississauga Crime Prevention Association. She is a governor on the Credit Valley Hospital Board and serves as a board member on the Mississauga Clean City Campaign and the Credit Valley Conservation Authority. Councillor Carol Seglins was elected to serve as Caledon Mayor. Mayor Seglins was first elected to Regional Council in 1988 and has served as chair for both the region's 1994 Management Committee and Health Committee. She is also a member of the Peel District Health Council, the Chincoosea Health Services Board, Hospice of Caledon, Caledon Information Services Board, and the Caledon Library Board. Councillor Richard Whitehead was re-elected as Regional Councillor to serve Caledon's Wards 3 and 4. A former Deputy Reeve of Bolton, Councillor Whitehead was Bolton's first Regional Councillor. Councillor Whitehead also served on the board of the Metropolitan Toronto and Region Conservation Authority and chaired Caledon's Environmental Study Group. During his last term, he served as Vice Chair of the Planning Committee, the Official Plan Committee, and the Budget Subcommittee. Ladies and gentlemen, your 1994 to 1997 Regional Councillors.
In addition to Mr. Garrett, I would now like to introduce the other members of the head table. To my right, Mike Proudlock, Deputy Clerk, and to my far right, Arlene Appleton, the Recording Secretary for this evening. The next item on the agenda is the filing of clerk certificates as to the election of members of Regional Council. I hereby confirm that the certificates of election of all regional councillors have been filed with me by the clerks of the City of Brampton, Town of Caledon, and the City of Mississauga. In accordance with the Regional Municipalities Act, declarations of office must be made by all council members. I now call upon the Honourable Mr. Justice J.B. Weber, Justice of the Ontario Court Division, Central West Region, to come forward to administer the declarations of elected members to the regional councillors. Justice Weber.
Okay, so Steve, there's a lot of Mississaugans on there.
Yeah, there are, actually. I should correct one thing. I said before that there was a change on Brampton. There hasn't been a change on Brampton representation at the region of Peel. They were all returned, and one new member in Mississauga Council, of course, Carmen Corbison, this is the first inauguration in many years where there hasn't been a Kennedy up at the dais. And in fact, if you add it up between Harold Kennedy, Doug Kennedy, and T.L. Kennedy, The Kennedy family's been politically elected for 93 years
Wow.
in this community. That's quite remarkable.
Well, they'll be missed, and it's good to have Carmen Corbison on as well.
Absolutely.
Now, there's a familiar face on there for you as well, isn't there?
Well, there is, yes. My wife, Katie, of course, is the councillor from Ward 8
Yeah.
for Mississauga and a regional councillor, and she was acclaimed. She was elected 3 years ago for the first time, and was acclaimed this time. So she's got 3 more years, and looking forward to it.
Very good, very good. You've been a nominator as well before
Yes, that's right.
for Frank Bean.
Well, I was first elected to council in '78, and that was the year that Lou Parsons surprised everybody and announced his retirement. So we had to select a chair from amongst our members, and I nominated Frank Bean, and I guess you could say in a way I was his campaign manager.
Right.
It was quite an exciting time and a very confusing election procedure, Jake.
It's changed now. This is,
Yeah.
they had a 3-year chance to, I think they formed an ad hoc committee to make all the changes, and now they've made the changes. Do you know a little bit of what's going to happen this year?
There are some fundamental changes in the process of voting, wherein in the old days they would put a motion to nominate someone as regional chair, and people would vote for and against. They would do that on every single nomination, because every nomination is indeed a motion of council. Now they simply cast the ballots in favor of the individual. They don't take the negative votes, and the majority wins. So it's a little simpler.
Simpler.
Although I'm not sure there's going to be a challenge this time in any event, so it might be even more simple tonight than in days gone by.
Very good, very good. Well, we've got a total of 21 councillors. And what's the breakdown?
Well, you've got the mayor and 9 members of council, of course. All 10 sit on regional council.
That's from Mississauga.
That's
right?
from Mississauga. You have 6 from Brampton, and you have 5 from Caledon. Now, they're elected in different ways. The Mississauga councillors run locally, and of course the mayor runs citywide, and they automatically serve on regional council. The Brampton and Caledon councillors, they run in multiple of wards, so they run as a regional councillor, and they may represent 3 particular local wards, and of course the mayor of each of those municipalities serves automatically on the region. So it's a little bit of a mix.
Okay.
They're taking their nominations
Yeah,
now. And of course, most of these folks recently went through their local inaugurations, when they have to get up and individually take the ballot.
There will be an opportunity for each mover, seconder, and nominee to speak for not more than 5 minutes each. The voting process will then commence. To be elected, a nominee requires a majority of votes of members present. I would remind members that our election procedure does not allow for the questioning of nominees. Also, a nominee may withdraw his or her name at any time. At the conclusion of the voting process, council will vote on a motion to elect the individual who was successful as a result of the process. The nominations for the election of regional chair are now open. Are there any nominations for the office of regional chair? Mayor McCallion?
It's my privilege as Mayor of Mississauga to move this motion nominating Emil Cope, moved by Hazel McCallion, seconded by Carolyn Seglins and Peter Robertson, that Emil Cope be elected to the office of Chair of the Regional Municipality of Peel for the term of December the 1st, 1994 to November the 30th, 1997, and until a successor is appointed or elected in accordance with the Regional Municipalities Act. And to this end, in accordance with the Region of Peel Bylaw number 888, the statement of consent is appended hereto.
Thank you. Are there any further nominations? There being no further nominations, do I have a motion that nominations be closed? Moved by Councillor Dale, seconded by Councillor Pleshy. I have a motion duly moved and seconded that nominations be closed. All those in favor? Those opposed? The motion carries. Nominations are now closed. The one nominee for the office of regional chair is Mr. Emil Kolb. The mover, seconder, and nominee will now be given no more than 5 minutes each to speak to the nomination, if they so choose. The mover of Mr. Kolb's nomination is Councillor McCallion. Do you wish to speak to the nomination? Thank you. The seconders of Mr. Kolb's nomination are Councillor Seglins and Robertson. Councillor Seglins, do you wish to speak to the nomination? You will have 2.5 minutes.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, Madam Chair, colleagues, and honored guests. I'm very proud to second the nomination of Emil Kolb for the position of Regional Chairman for the region of Peel. I am pleased also to say that I bring with me the total support of the Caledon Regional representatives for this nomination. I can confidently support the re-election of Emil Kolb to the position of Chair, as I have had the honor and the opportunity to work for Council with Emil, both in Caledon and here at the region. Emil's personal skills, his knowledge, and his leadership ability make him the exemplary person for the responsibilities. Emil Kolb is a truly dedicated, caring person who gives tirelessly in his community and to his constituents. In my experience, his devotion, commitment, and patience have been outstanding. His hard work ethic, his quiet, positive approach, coupled with his caring, disarming smile, and his eagerness to provide helpful counsel, have all been inspirational to myself and many others on Council. Recently, he has been awarded the Paul Harris Award, evidence that the community well recognizes and applauds Emil Kolb's complete commitment to the community. The position of chairman requires strong leadership skills to address the challenges facing Peel, to represent our interests and concerns at the province, and to guide the members of council in their deliberations to make effective decisions. Emil Kolb has well illustrated all of these required skills. He has always been a strong team player who works tirelessly to develop a cohesive team approach that looks for solutions. He has gained the respect and admiration from all of those who work with him, as he encourages discussion, sharing of expertise, and working together for answers. His open-door policy of always being available to discuss problems and share insight stimulates confidence in those who work with him. Emil is a strong negotiator, always working for the municipality's best interest. His proven commitment and success are clearly evident. His recent work with the federal and provincial governments on welfare is but one example. Emil Kolb has an extensive knowledge of Peel, its history, its challenges, its strategic plans for the future. He's had strong ties with Caledon, Brampton, and Mississauga for many years. Thus, with Emil Kolb's understanding of the community of communities, his excellent ability to work with others, his tireless efforts to work proactively for the best interest of all of Peel, I fully support the nomination of Emil Kolb for chairman.
Councillor Robertson, do you wish to speak? Give you 2.5 minutes as well.
It's my pleasure to second the nomination of Emil Kolb. Emil has experience. He has the skill of finding solutions, does that with fairness and above all with common sense, and he always has a frugal and responsible consideration to the problems of the day. Emil's real talent is, in my mind, his ability to open the doors at Queen's Park in a way that doesn't upset them, but in a very real way get some solutions. And does that in trip now and then to Ottawa, as Carol said, and in his relationships with the other Greater Toronto regional chairman. He brings the Peel case, and I think he's very proud of the accomplishments of Peel as he goes about his business. So it's indeed my pleasure to second the motion. Emil will have 3 great years coming up.
Thank you. Mr. Kolb, do you wish to speak to the nomination? If you do, please come forward.
I want to shake hands with the rest of them, but they're only going to allow me to accept the nomination at this point in time. Thank you.
Was it a surprise or not?
Well, I don't think so. I would call it a foregone conclusion, but you never want to jinx anybody. I think we all knew that Emil was so highly respected and that he would be reelected.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, they're back again.
They're back talking.
All members favor the nominee's election to the position of chair. The motion before me is a motion to elect a regional chair and reads, moved by Mayor McCallion, seconded by Mayor Seglins and Mayor Robertson, that Emil Kolb be elected to the office of chair of the Regional Municipality of Peel for the term of December 1, 1994 to November 30th, 1997, and until a successor is appointed or elected in accordance with the Regional Municipalities Act, and to this end, in accordance with the Region of Peel Bylaw number 8-88, the statement of consent is appended hereto. The vote is a recorded vote and will be called out by the deputy clerk.
Will all those in favor of the motion as read by the clerk please signify by standing? Standing are Councillors Begley, Bissell, Corbison, Cullum, Dale, Fennell, Hughes, Klein, Mahoney, McCallion, McKechnie, Miles, Morrison, Mullen, Paleshi, Prentice, Robertson, Sato, Seglins, Whitehead. Madam Clerk, the vote is unanimous.
Thank you. Based on these results, I now declare Mr. Emil Kolb to be unanimously elected chair of the Regional Municipality of Peel. Congratulations, Chairman Kolb. I would now ask Chairman Kolb to come to the lectern and join council on stage while we await the arrival of Justice Weber to administer the oath of allegiance and declaration of qualification to the regional chair.
Okay, so what takes place now, Steve?
Well, I guess they swear Emil in. The Judge Weber will swear him in and present the chain of office to Emil, and that'll be the ceremonial part. But as you can see, the standing vote was not in doubt. It was unanimous, with all members of council supporting this man for chair.
Mm-hmm. When do they take their seat in office?
Basically, the councilors already, they're doing it tonight officially. This is the inaugural meeting, and Emil is now officially, as he is sworn in, he officially...
So starting tomorrow?
Oh,
he's at
absolutely,
office.
starting
Very good.
early in the morning.
Okay.
Would you take the Bible in your right hand, please, and read the oath of allegiance?
I, Emil V. Cope, have been elected as chair to the Council of the Regional Municipality of Peel, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II.
Would you please sign that, Mr. Cole? I will take the jurat now, which reads, sworn before me at the city of Mississauga in the region of Peel this 8th day of December, 1994. I now have before me the declaration of qualification, and if you would please complete by inserting your name on the top line. Would you take the Bible in your right hand, please? And would you read the declaration of qualification?
I, Emil V. Cope, have been elected as chair to the Council of the Regional Municipality of Peel, declare that I am a Canadian citizen, I am of full age of 18 years, I am not an officer or employee of any area municipality or local board or any area municipality. I have taken the oath of allegiance, Form 1, which I attached hereto, and I am this solemnly declare, conscientiously believe it, to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as made under oath.
Would you please sign? I complete the declaration, which reads as follows: declared before me at the city of Mississauga in the region of Peel this 8th day of December, 1994. You're in business.
Thank you, John.
Now, Madam Clerk, would you like me to hand these to you for safekeeping? All right. I think she just got them. Good luck with you.
Thank you, Justice Weber. I would now like to call upon the mover and seconders of the chair's nomination, Councillor McCallion and Seglins and Robertson, to present Chair Kolb with his chain of office and the gavel.
Chain of office has 10 silver medallions bearing the crest of the former incorporated townships, towns, and villages of Peel County. The Ontario crest is at the center front of the chain of office, and suspended from it is the regional crest. To the chair's left are the crests of the town of Port Credit, town of Mississauga, the township of Toronto Gore, the village of Bolton, and the township of Albion. To the chair's right are the crests of the town of Streetsville, the town of Brampton, the township of Chinguacousy, the village of Caledon East, and the township of Caledon. At the center is a maple leaf. This chain of office is worn by the chair when representing the region of Peel at official functions and at regional council meetings.
Thank you. In order to give Chair Kolb an opportunity to assume the chair, I now call upon our three mayors to bring greetings on behalf of their municipalities. I'll call upon Mississauga Mayor Hazel McCallion first, please.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk and colleagues, Your Honor, distinguished guests, and ladies and gentlemen. It was much easier this year, Emil, than the first time. We worried for months. This time there was no worry at all, was it? It was so easy. Just shows what a great job you've done, how you're respected, and I think your Mayor of Caledon said it well. I endorse all her comments, and I'm sure all members of council do too. Well, we have some challenges ahead of us. There's really no point in me bringing greetings from my council because they're all here. And as you know, all members of council of the city of Mississauga sit on regional council. And it's a very nice arrangement. we don't have the problems of having to go home and convince other members of council what we did at Region. The challenges are great for the next 3 years. I think the citizens feel very much that we're overgoverned, overtaxed, and that we as elected people are really on the front line of that situation. Not always the fault of local government, though, really, because I believe we are the most responsible level of government and more accountable to the people than any other level of government. So therefore, we take the flak for all the problems created by the provincial and the federal, because we're with our people constantly. And as chairman of the Greater Toronto Area Mayors, I can assure you that we can see challenges. There's a great movement afoot to see what can be done to change the system in the Greater Toronto Area. And we must play, as the Region of Peel, a major role in that movement. I was asked yesterday by David Stein of the Toronto Star whether or not we needed a royal commission to look at the situation in the Greater Toronto Area, and I said we need that like a hole in the head, because I don't think it's going to be done by a royal commission. I believe that the changes that we must face and accept has to come from the grassroots, has to come from the municipalities within the GTA. And I have had the privilege and support of the Mayor of Brampton, and I know I will have the support of the Mayor of Caledon, as I'm looking forward to the support of the Mayor of Toronto, of Scarborough, who have not been involved in the Greater Toronto Area Mayors to date. And we must take the bull by the horns and look at the duplication and overlapping that exists and find solutions to that. And I know you, Mr. Chairman, you are very sympathetic to that approach. We do not have the problem in Peel that we have in another region. We do not have that confrontational approach. Yes, we have problems, and yes, we have arguments, but we at least get along together, because if we're concerned about the people we represent, then it's extremely important that we fiercely debate the issues, but when the chips are down, that we stick together. And Mr. Chairman, you have been a true leader in that regard. You certainly have proved yourself over the past 3 years. But as we face the future, there has to be changes in the Region of Peel. The citizens want value for their tax dollar. They want the service provided at the level of government that can best provide the service. I was also asked as to whether we need another level of government in the Greater Toronto Area. Well, you know what the answer is. We certainly don't need any more. We need changes to what we got. And it's very important that Toronto be strong. And there are inequities in the way in which Metro is dealt with and the regions around Metro. And it's important that we bring out the facts in that regard. And I have to say to you that the Greater Toronto Area, I believe strongly, is the engine of the province and is truly the engine of Canada. And it's been sputtering badly, and we have to get it well oiled and on its way to bringing about the most effective, efficient service that we can provide. We must give value for tax dollar. And so as we face the next 3 years, Mr. Chairman, I say to you that there has to be changes in the Region of Peel. The duplication must disappear. The overlapping has got to disappear. And I think over the next 3 years, working together as a region, and making our contribution that I believe we have a major contribution to make to the Greater Toronto Area, that we will find solutions to the challenges we face. I'm concerned about the erosion of local government and the interference by the province of Ontario. And I hope that in the next provincial election, which will be coming, I hope in May, I pray for it at night, that whoever is elected will realize that we are no longer prepared to be children of the province of Ontario. We've grown up. We've grown up, and we are quite capable of dealing with matters that the province is not capable of dealing with. And so, Mr. Chairman, I look forward, and I know the Mayor of Brampton looks forward, and the Mayor of Caledon, as three mayors, working with you and with the fine council that I bring to the region, and I can assure you I'm proud of the council I bring to the region, that with their involvement and participation, that we will make the changes that are needed and lead the way to show other regions that it can be done on a cooperative basis, keeping fully in mind that we are serving the people. And if we truly believe that and implement it, then we will do the right thing for the taxpayers' appeal, and we'll show the rest of the Greater Toronto Area that it can be done on a cooperative, coordinated basis. So, Mr. Chairman, congratulations. My council, I know I speak for my council, we will work with you to make things happen in the next 3 years.
Thank you very much, Mayor McCallion. And now I'd ask Mayor Robertson to please come forward and make a few remarks.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's not often I get an opportunity like this, and I'd like to take full advantage of it. I don't mean that I don't get down to Mississauga to see my neighbors very often. What I mean is I don't often get a chance to speak after Hazel McCallion. You know, Hazel usually gets the last word. I love, and Brampton loves, living next door to Mississauga and Caledon. It's a bit like Canada living next door to the most powerful and rich nation in the world, the United States, and also having a recreation and vacation land just a 10 minutes drive away. When you look at the recent election and in the past, Mississauga has a lady mayor, and now Caledon has one, and I'm going to have to work hard and keep looking over my shoulder, or else Brampton will have a lady mayor before too long. That's all kidding, and we'll put that aside. At a recent council meeting in the city of Brampton, a young Boy Scout came to the podium, and after watching the deliberations for about an hour, he came to the podium and said, with a naive question, "What do you do?" It was a bit humorous because it was directed at me and a bit basic, but I tried my best to give a straight answer at the level that he might understand. And tonight, I thought I'd try to answer that very basic question. What do we do at the region of Peel? We deal with the questions that affect Brampton and Caledon and Mississauga collectively. Some issues need to be addressed by looking at that bigger picture outside of our local municipalities. Water, sewers, waste management, public health, homes for the aged, police, and a whole range of social services, including assisted housing and welfare. Could these issues be handled at the local level? In some cases, yes. But the local area municipalities have a full plate looking after their designated functions. And as long as no duplication between the area municipality and their council and the region, that duplication doesn't happen, then you, the public, are served well and efficiently. There is an economy of scale that can and is brought into play to the benefit of the people of our region of Peel when we make decisions regionally. Regional government is not perfect, but we're continually trying to find ways, new ways, and efficient ways to serve the residents of our area, to bring those services that are needed to them. In the area of garbage collection, recycling of waste, and disposal, we had a split in those functions. Collected the garbage at the city, disposed of it at the region, and sometimes did the recycling at the city, but had the region pay for it. This past year, we conducted a very complicated experiment. We integrated all the waste management activities at the region and tendered the contract collectively on a region-wide basis. This helped drop the price of collection of garbage and the blue box materials to our ratepayers, and so garbage collected permanently at the regional level will likely be an advantage, and hopefully we'll move towards that in the very near future, perhaps in January. The process of streamlining garbage is just an example because we can save $2 million annually for the ratepayers of Peel and do that over the next 6 years of the contract. There are several other areas of government still to be tackled. Can we find a more efficient system of roads and traffic management? As you know, we have both city and regional roads. Do we need a regional plan? The Regional Council has been contemplating one for about 20 years. Does the airport serve only Mississauga? Should one municipality have more say over the airport's growth and its transportation links, its noise impacts? If you lived in Mississauga, you might think yes. If you took a wider perspective, you might say that Pearson has a multi-municipal impact. If you really look at the economic impact of the airport, you would rank Pearson as one of the most significant infrastructure pieces here in the GTA, besides Hazel McCallion. I say that with respect because we're witnessing a spectacular achievement here. A lady dedicated to our community. I don't know why you didn't give her a standing ovation when she was finished, because she deserves it. Indeed, this airport is a national treasure, and it has to be looked after on a region-wide or GTA basis. I'm pleased that the authority for governing the airport is moving towards a local airport authority in the control of a more efficient organization than Transport Canada. This will allow the direction for the development of the airport to be controlled by a group of represented widely throughout the GTA and interested in the economic importance of this area. What I've tried to say is that the region of Peel can do some things well and efficiently, and we do. Some functions of government are done best at the regional level. Some things can be addressed better and hopefully will when we search for better practices. Some things need to be done at a GTA perspective, and Hazel said that clearly tonight. Thanks to the leadership of her vision, we're addressing on a monthly basis without creating another level of government. The regional chairman with Emil at those meetings also meet regularly, and our chief administrative officers, Michael Garrett and the gang, they meet as well. And so with that collective concern that's happening without a new level of government, all of us aggressively looking after the best interests of our citizens, I think the next 3 years are going to be exciting. Hopefully you, the residents of Peel, have elected the right people to tackle the challenges before us in this immediate future. And I believe we, group around here, can develop, with the help of our staff, enough trust, innovation, and fairness to meet the challenges that are just around the corner. Congratulations, Mr. Chairman, and I look forward to working with you on council. I've never brought a better regional group of councillors together. All of you that were on council know their strengths individually, Michael read many of them off. I'm proud of the group at the region. I know you are too. And we commit to working together in a teamwork way to make this thing work. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Peter. And now I'd like Carol to come forward and bring greetings from Caledon.
Chairman Cole, honored guests and colleagues, I would first like to congratulate you, Emil, and extend a genuine hand in partnership to working together. And I know that the people of Caledon and all of Peel will be well served. I bring greetings tonight from the town of Caledon, to you, Mr. Chairman, to the members of council, and to all in attendance this evening. And I look forward to being part of a strong team of councillors for the region of Peel, to provide leadership on the challenges that we face, to seek solutions, working towards an even stronger, vibrant region of Peel. It is with united efforts that we will be able to achieve and ensure a viable future. Caledon is a strong, distinctive, rural-oriented community, quite different from her partners in Peel, which are the vibrant cities of Brampton and Mississauga. The work we have done towards the regional official plan highlights just how different we really are. And yet, our 20-year union has benefited all three municipalities, and we expect to derive strength also in the future. Respecting each other's needs and working together has resulted in the region of Peel becoming a true leader in the GTA, a model for other municipalities in financial planning, waste management, and ensuring a caring, affordable community for its residents. We have faced challenges positively and aggressively and developed responsible solutions. It is in this manner that we will meet the challenges and battles of Bill 143 and the IWA, the new demands of Bill 163 in planning for the environmental and social expectations of all new planning, the new changes in service delivery that we will see with Bill 173 and the new long-term care services that are to be delivered to our seniors and disabled. We're moving into an exciting and interesting time in Peel's history. As we optimistically climb out of the recession, and as we develop our regional plan, as we aim to contain costs, Caledon looks forward to strengthening her partnership with Brampton and Mississauga, and together face the provincial challenges. We need to address our eroding funding and local governance, eroding provincial funding and local governance. We need to regain control over waste management, and together we have strength. I am proud to represent Caledon as its mayor, and in this partnership look forward to working together with this new council here tonight under the excellent leadership of Chairman Emil Kobe. Let us salute the opportunities we have before us, enjoy positive prospects for the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Seidlin. Honorable Judge Weber, Revenue Payton, ladies and gentlemen, and honored guest. It's a pleasure for me to be here at this inaugural meeting. I heard the clerk saying it was the 9th, and they told me it was the 7th, so I'm not sure exactly which one it is, but I'm sure over the next few days we'll figure that out. On behalf of Regional Council, I would like to thank the Honorable Bill Davis for coming tonight, and he'll have an opportunity of saying a few words later on. I'd also like to take this opportunity first to thank some of the people in the audience that we have with us as visitors, and also my family, that if I didn't have them, I wouldn't be able to do this job, and certainly they do carry a big load at home. And I know it is dark when we look out there, but I'd like my wife, Burl, to maybe stand. And I know not all my family is here, but my son Paul, our oldest one, is here, and his wife Marion. Would you just please stand? I actually see my second daughter that just came in from Vancouver yesterday and is here on business for a couple days. Mary, it's great to have you here. And my youngest daughter, Susan. Where are you, Susan? Thanks. I have my only brother here, Fred, that I can quite often fool people with. Where are you, Fred? It's a team like Ken Willens used to do. I was almost going to let him come up here and see what happened, but then I thought I'd better not. He might like the job. And my sister-in-law, Pat, is here also, and my sister, Josephine, and my sister, Catherine, are here, and my brother-in-law, Albert. Where are they? It's great to have you all here, and any other cousins that might be here, and that it's nice to have. I actually have my brother-in-law. I see him now at the back there also, and his wife. I want to welcome our MPs and our MPPs that are here. I've got to tell you this story because it is quite unique. And we have Margaret Marlin, who's going to have an opportunity to say a few words. Margaret, would you stand, please? And Carmen McCollum is down from Brampton Malton. Carmen? Now, the Honorable Bill Davis was actually seeing which one of them were going to put his name forward to run as regional chairman of Peel here, and they didn't realize they had to have one of the councillors move that and second that, so I sat quite comfortably being between the two of them. Steve Mahoney, I saw him before, our MPP from Mississauga. Steve! It's great to have you. John Stoll is also here. John Stoll, yes, thank you. And if there's anybody I missed, we feel our MPs and our MPPs are very important because they're part of you, and they represent you at a different level of government. And as so many of my mayors have said here this evening, if we do not work with them and do not to get their cooperation, we just can't change things around. So if there isn't anybody I missed, thanks for coming. And I have some of my, at least one of my colleagues here that I enjoy very much is Gary Harm, who was elected as regional chairman in Durham the other day. Gary, it's great to have you here. Are there any other regional chairman or regional chairperson here? We have a new regional chairperson in the region of Halton that was elected yesterday, and I know that she will do a great job with us. I want to, at this time, make special note, and I believe they are here, or he was supposed to be here. He said he was coming. And for the past 93 years in Peel has benefited from the leadership and the vision of the Kennedy family. And tonight, I would like to take and acknowledge the contribution of someone who has been a friend and a colleague for many years. Harold Kennedy has continued his family's tradition of proud and unselfish service to this community. All of us at the region are going to greatly miss him. Harold, are you in the audience? Did you get here? Where are you? Harold Kennedy? And Adeline, his wife, is with him also. Adeline, would you stand up, please? I actually had the opportunity to speak to Harold for a couple minutes at the Mississauga Inaugural, and he told me his new line is now, he said, "You see this new suit I got on?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Well, I wear this to weddings, I wear this to funerals, and now I'm going to wear it to inaugurals." I want to, at this time, offer my congratulations to all of you for getting re-elected and for getting back to this council. It has been a great opportunity for me to have worked with all of you in the past 3 years, and I'm looking for that challenge again in the next 3 years. And I also want to welcome all of the new councillors that have been elected to the Regional Council, and I pledge my support to all of you over the next 3 years. And I know that you will bring a lot of new ideas, a lot of new challenges that we will certainly need, and we're looking forward for them and for your role as a new councillor. I want to say that, first of all, I'd like to give a special thanks to Hazel for moving my nomination, and to Peter and Carol for seconding my nomination. It is actually a real honor to be able to be selected as the regional chairman of this great region without having any opposition from within, if you like. And I watched and sat actually this afternoon at the Region New York, where they had 10 new councillors, and the 10 new councillors indicated that they wanted some change in their region of York. And so therefore, they challenged the chair because they thought that the changes were needed. And I know that Eldred King, that was re-elected there, quite said that yes, we do need changes, but the most important part is that the changes have to happen all the time. They cannot just happen at the end of the 3 years or just while the election is on. There must be an effort on their part and on my part to make these changes through the years as we go through the next 3 years. And so I look forward in all of your ideas and working with you for those changes that we will need in Peel to stay the most viable region in this province of Ontario. I want to also take this opportunity to thank all of the councillors that are not back on this council, and I've seen one coming in, Dick Pallett. I know he's here. Dick, would you like to just stand? And I'm not sure if John Holden is here. Your efforts and your contributions have been very, very grateful to this region, and you will be missed. But as life does go on, as we all know. I want to also take this time to thank the commissioners and the staff that have supported me in the last 3 years, because unless you have good staff and have good support, there is just no way that you can achieve the goals that we have achieved in the last 3 years. And so I want to just say a special thank you, Bonnie, to your team, and to all of the commissioners that are here and their staff for that also. Every resident of the Region of Peel, I know, to council, to staff, and to every resident of the Region of Peel, I assure you that we will continue to work on your behalf and to make all of your mutual efforts successful. Over 20 years ago, I was first elected to this regional council. In the period since that, I've always been proud of the constructive efforts of each councillor has taken to make Peel a better place to live and work. Your new council will continue that tradition with the full support and assistance of this chairman and every member of regional staff. Tonight, your new council begin their work. Secure in knowing that they are working for a strong foundation, we in Peel can take great pride in our record of excellency and in delivering regional services. We should be confident in our ability to meet the new challenges. Our citizens, our business know that in Peel there's a strong, diverse economy and a responsible leadership who have had already the beginning of the planning for the future. In this new term, Council will introduce 2 new documents that are the key part of our future growth. One is the cost development study, which is the first of its kind. And if I may just say that we are going to review that tomorrow afternoon. And it is a document that we are going to look at for the future of the next 40 years in our infrastructure to see how we can make sure that this region has a very stable tax base and will not be burdened with great debt. This report will give us a comprehensive information that shows the best location for our future resident and industrial development. It'll help us to determine the impact of our decisions on the revenue and the cost of the region and assist in providing a solid financial base. The second major document is the draft official plan, which you have heard from before. This plan will set a 30-year blueprint for the growth and the environment preservation in the region of Peel. These key documents, combined with Peel's strategic plan approved earlier this year, will help ensure we remain effective and efficiency in the services that we deliver to meet the changes that are needed in our community. Consistency and accountability are the attributes of every effective council. We have to steer a straight course. We must build partnership with our boundaries, within our boundaries, and with other political circles. We must believe in Peel and in our vision and what we want this region to become. And we must never lose sight of our goals, even when consumed within the challenges of the day. The recession has taught us a hard lesson and provided increased levels of service with fewer and fewer resources. Like the private sector, we have had to find savings internally, and that has meant downsizing in many areas. I take pride in our council's record since I have been regional chair, in that the period we have been able to hold the cost of direct control regional programs or at the loss or less than what our 1991 levels are. This we have accomplished despite the serious negative financial impact in the provincial cutbacks in the transfer payment as part of the expenditure control programs and the social contract. Yet even in difficult times, we have upheld our principles of our sustainability as paying as we go to avoid mortgaging our children's future. Peel's aggressive debt management policy has cut millions from our present and forecast debt load. The unique approach that we have taken in the Canadian Ontario Infrastructure Program will result in a saving of more than $53 million in debt financing and capital cost projects. This approach represents a major saving for every taxpayer in the region of Peel. We have established our leadership with new partners with the provincial and federal governments so that Peel is a vital part of the change occurring there. It is far better for Peel that we are doers and not watchers. Ultimately, the watchers pay a higher price for not participating in the design of the solution. We've raised the problems associated with the process of refugee and contributed to the federal government's improvements in this area. As a result, in 1995, Peel Region will join the federal government in the reform of the Canadian Immigration Sponsorship Program through a special pilot project. Peel Region has received a strong voice of confidence from the Immigration Minister, Sergio Marcos, when he announced on the national statement that Peel was his choice for the test. Peel was selected because we got involved in a positive way and offered the region's expertise to create solutions together. Lately, there has been much media discussion about the economic difficulties facing the downtown Toronto and the so-called wealth of suburban regions. Our fiscal health has been due to the long-term responsible way taken by Peel Council over the past decade. By carefully maintaining expenditures and affordable levels and by proper long-term financing. Because we in Peel have managed different, we must take care in the months to come that we do not have the benefit of the sound financial management taken away from us. Nonetheless, we understand the importance of the GTA as a whole, and Peel must play an important role in planning its long-term future. But we also must remember that not all of the regions or the cities have chosen to establish the same service levels, and therefore costs in the regions have difference in their financial principles, which has resulted in a different tax structure around the GTA area. While we must work together for an economical sound GTA, we must at the same time make sure that the system allows a variation from one part of the GTA to the other. I am confident that this 7th Council of the Regional Municipality of Peel will continue the tradition on the past, and we will together build upon Peel's reputation sound financial responsibility and accountability so that the government can meet all of the needs for every citizen in Peel and each corner of Peel. Again, let me thank you all for coming here tonight and supporting your mayors and your councillors. And I just want to wish you all the very best of a holiday season with good health and good luck in the coming year. Thank you. And I just noticed also Chief Lunny, I forgot to mention you. I didn't realize you there. And say thank you. Oh, and, yes, and also I understand we have the chair of the Peel Board here, Burl Ford, and there's other school board members here also that I'd like us to show our appreciation and the work that they've done in also representing this region. So maybe we could show our appreciation to the school board members. At this time, I would like to ask Mr. Garrett to come forward with a few remarks.
Thanks, Emil. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, honored guests, and regional councillors. Congratulations to Council and to Emil Kolb on his re-election as regional chair. Emil, you sure have a unique way of bringing parties together to build consensus and solve problems. And you're one of the most prolific idea men I've ever met, and I will look forward to working closely with you again this term. I'm very pleased tonight to relay congratulations on behalf of all regional employees to the 1994-1997 Regional Council. We are excited at the prospect of meeting new challenges under your leadership in the months to come. As employees of the region, we take great pride in our work and in the value that we bring in implementing Council's goals and directions. Regional employees know that they are part of a team that is contributing to the directions Council has set in Peel's strategic plan. This plan provides a tangible link between Regional Council and the service provided to the community. We have a tradition in Peel of solid financial planning and excellence in efficient delivery of essential services, whether it's sewer and water or homes for the aged. And we take great pride in this tradition. We are committed to enhancing the quality of life for those within the region. While some people may not always consider the region when they get a drink of water or when their child is immunized at school, those we have served in a time of need know who we are. Let me give you a snapshot of a day in the life of the region of Peel. Today, TransHelp employees provided more than 650 trips for disabled residents whose freedom of movement and enjoyment of life often hinges on their ability to travel. Today, employees in Peel's 3 homes for the aged cared for more than 800 of our senior residents, enriching their lives with excellent programs and a good home. Today, employees in our child development centers provided care for more than 2,000 children. Many parents would be on social assistance without this service. And today, Peel's community health nurses visited more than 4,500 people, providing health care and preventative education. Social assistance caseworkers today help more than 1,200 people in temporary need of assistance. In addition, these employees provided their clients with employment counseling and moral support that is so crucial to regaining independence. Today, more than 15,000 people from every walk of life enjoyed living in homes managed by Peel Living. These residents also benefit from programs designed to give them the highest possible quality of life. And today, Peel's public health inspectors visited more than 200 establishments throughout the region. In addition, Peel Public Works inspectors visited more than 40 homes to monitor the quality of water that we provide through the Region of Peel. And today, our community health nurses were in local schools immunizing children and teaching them how to stay healthy. Right now, we are in the process of immunizing more than 11,000 grade 7 students against hepatitis B. A full day, and that's only part of the story. It's this kind of individual contact with Peel residents that defines what the Region of Peel is all about. Our employees care, and they deliver. But providing quality programs and services to our residents is only one part of the challenge. We must also be accountable for every single tax dollar that we spend. We must be able to clearly demonstrate to our residents that we are providing them with value. Measuring our performance is becoming part of the culture at the region. In keeping with the old adage, you can't manage what you can't measure, Peel has been taking a number of innovative steps that will improve our ability to know the full cost of a service and whether that service is getting more or less expensive and how it compares to similar services in the public and private sectors. Our commitment is to continuously improve how we serve our taxpayer. They are our clients. What we're telling employees and our taxpayers is that the practices and methods of the 70s and the 80s don't apply anymore. Nothing is as sure as change itself. We are constantly looking for new and better ways to maintain essential services in an environment of diminishing resources. And new ideas continue to surface, new ways of using technology, restructuring the workplace, and working with other governments on initiatives such as joint purchasing and telecommunications. The future is ours, but never has it been more important to understand the cost implications of today's planning decisions on tomorrow's property tax rates. Never has it been more important for our leaders to manage growth and the expectations of the public. Never before has it been so important for all levels of government to work together constructively to find solutions to complex human and infrastructure problems. And never has it been more important to follow the principles of financial sustainability. Peel as a municipality is well placed to face the challenges of the future. Its financial foundation is solid. Its balanced growth will serve its residents well as a place not only to live, but to work. Mr. Chairman and Council, your employees are proud to work with you to make Peel and the region as a whole second to none anywhere in Canada. Once again, from all Peel employees, congratulations on your successful elections and best wishes for the future.
It is now my pleasure to introduce one of Peel's leading citizens who has tirelessly served this community, this province, and this country. He served as Premier of Ontario from 1971 to 1985 and is a member of the Privy Council, the Order of Canada, and an Order of Ontario. He has a list of accomplishments from the establishment of Ontario Community College to his role in the development of the Canadian Constitutional Accord. Currently, he serves on boards of directors of no less than 17 major corporations, including the Ford Motor Company of Canada, Power Corporation of Canada, and the Canadian and Imperial Bank of Commerce. Most recently, he was appointed as chair of the Ontario International Trade Corporation. Please join with me to welcome the Honourable William Davis.
Mr. Chairman, Madam Mayor of Caledon, Madam Mayor of Mississauga, Lord Mayor of Brampton, my Lord Chief Justice Weber, Mr. Chief of Police, Chair Lady of the Brampton, or at least no, I guess I'll say it's the whole Peel Board of Education. You see, Mr. Garrett got me quite upset earlier in that sort of Freudian slip. He sort of introduced somebody from, you know, as being from Toronto. Mr. Garrett, you like your employment, do you? If some of you thought you were going to get the Lieutenant Governor here to bring greetings, he's not here. In fact, there are 2 or 3 people who are here who will be speaking at great length in a few moments who want to rush back for the prorogation speech because it may be the last one. No, that was begetting. Anyway, that's what's happening.
I took the liberty of speaking to His Honor mid-afternoon today and asked him what he might like me to say and how long he intended to speak here if he had come. Well, he gave me license because he had no other choice and suggested his contribution tonight would be probably in excess of the combined contributions of the three mayors of the three participating municipalities, and I said to His Honor that I might expand upon that somewhat, and so I hope you're all comfortable and relaxed because we're going to go on here for quite a while. No, I shan't do that to you. I do, however, bring his best wishes. I cannot bring the best wishes he would have brought because he only can bring greetings from Her Majesty the Queen, but I certainly can bring Mr. Jackman's, our Lieutenant Governor's, greetings to you on an individual basis. I had a certain paternal feeling when I watched the activities here this evening because I think there are three of us who are presently on the platform who were at the inaugural meeting in the first instance. My recollection is that the senior statesman from the Malton part of the now city of Mississauga, I think Mr. McKechnie, who was only a child at that time, was part of that. And if memory serves me correctly, the most enthusiastic person to endorse regional government in those days, who I made her what she is today, the mayor of Mississauga, was also there. No, I will defend you vis-a-vis Mel Lastman any day of the week, Hazel. I can recall that evening very vividly because His Honor on that occasion went beyond what he should have done as the representative of the Queen, congratulated the then Premier, the government of the day, and for somebody who spent his life in another political party, I found it entirely rewarding, even though it wasn't totally accurate. If any of you have reservations about regional government, the person you can blame is now here. I intend to leave immediately after these ceremonies are over, so you will not have the opportunity to do it in any specific sense. At the same time, I can't help but reminisce just slightly when I saw our chairman's very tough election tonight. It really brought back the days prior to regional government when some who are present here tonight, Hazel, used to congregate before the Peel County Council meetings, wheeling and dealing in the back rooms to become warden of this great area, then a county, and I said to myself, gosh, the fun has disappeared. And then somebody told me Emil didn't have it so easily last time around, so Emil, I meant to congratulate you, but why should you be congratulated on ascending to office where you had total unanimity? Never happened to me in my life. And some of you out there will say, and for good reason. But I look back, not in any nostalgic sense whatsoever, but really with a sense of perhaps some accomplishment, not on my part, but on the part of those who represent our municipalities in this region. I sometimes read the press. I, on occasion, watch television. And I have seen in the past few years a certain developing cynicism with respect to people in public office. It offends me, it upsets me, because it is not representative of people I have known and know presently in public life of all parties and all persuasions and at all levels. I saw the gentleman here from City TV who is documenting this for history, taking it back to Colin Vaughan so Colin could pontificate on what we should do with municipal government. He unfortunately has left because I had a few things I wanted to say to him so that he could communicate it to the broader audience. Because I think it's time that the public understood that the men and women who offer themselves for public service, and you have representation here tonight, are people of talent, people of commitment, people of integrity, and thank heavens they do it for the betterment of each and every one of us as residents of our individual communities. I also say this to you, Hazel. Hazel made some observations what might be done in the GTA, whether there should or should not be a study. I have made it a policy of mine since retiring from public life never to get involved in anything controversial, so I won't comment, except to make one rather simplistic observation. And that is that while sometimes we get caught up in structures, whether it is municipal legislation, whether it is provincial legislation, whether it is federal legislation, or whether it's our national constitution. We have people debating the pros and cons of individual sections, individual provisions, and I have learned this much in my limited time in public life and now in my chronological maturity, which is another way of saying I have now achieved that age whereby I can be the beneficiary of the Enlightened program I introduced for seniors some 22 and a half years ago. I had that in mind when we did it with respect to free drugs. I really didn't have it in mind. In those days, you think you are forever young. But I have to make this observation, and it really relates to some of the discussion with respect to government, the question of change, the question of leadership, that the most sophisticated administrative structure in the world, run by the wrong people, doesn't necessarily work. Questionable structures run by people of good intent, well motivated, wanting to cooperate, you can make sometimes questionable structures work. This applies provincially. It applies even in terms of our national constitution. And what I was encouraged to hear tonight, and I fully expected it, was the statements made by our mayors and by our chairman reflecting their desire to work in a cooperative sense, with a recognition that no one can isolate themselves from the individual problems, whether they be in Mississauga, Brampton, or Caledon, and that the only real solution lies in working with one another. And this applies, of course, to the two senior levels of government, although if I were here stringing for the Toronto Daily Star, which paper is so close to Hazel, obviously, the headline tomorrow will be Mayor of Mississauga predicts provincial election next May without any question. I heard her say it. She has an inside track that I've never had with the President's administration, so I accept her judgment. Hazel, I tease, but you may turn out to be perfectly right. I would like to extend, just on a personal basis, and one who looks upon not only these individuals here tonight, but the accomplishments in the region with some degree of personal pride. I have difficulty in disguising it. Hazel accuses me of talking only about Brampton. I really do encompass my observations to the total region of Peel, and it does give me just a rather good feeling to see this group of people here tonight who are going to be administering my interests as a resident in this region. So to each and every one of you, my congratulations, my best wishes. Mr. Chairman, I assure you I shall be keeping an eye on the mill rates and whatever regional levies are imposed upon me as a poor taxpayer in the city of Brampton. But more importantly, I wish you well in your deliberations. Peel has always been a leader, and with this group, that shall continue. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Bill. It's always great to have you, and I know we all enjoy listening to you. Now I'd like to ask Mark Marlin, member of the Provincial Parliament for Mississauga South, to please come forward and bring some greetings from the province of Ontario.
Premier Emeritus, honored guests, our newly re-elected regional chairman, and members of council, and our very special people in the audience, ladies and gentlemen. I guess it is a coincidence that I follow our Premier Emeritus, isn't it? There isn't actually any connection. But it is for me tonight a particular pleasure and a particular privilege to speak on behalf of the Ontario Legislature. I think in the program it says that I speak on behalf of the province. We do have 7 members of provincial parliament in the region of Peel, and I think all of us are proud to say that we are there to serve the residents of the region of Peel, And I think we are probably equally proud to say that we are not members of the current government. I would like to congratulate each and every one of the members of this council, those of you that have been re-elected and those of you that are newly elected. I too can't help but comment on Councillor Frank McKechnie. As someone who served on this regional council for 7 years and City of Mississauga Council for 7 years with Frank, it's absolutely impossible to think about you being here for 36 years. And we all wonder, Frank, when you are ever going to look your age like the rest of us. We know that the job that each of you have agreed to perform on behalf of those people who have elected you is not an easy one. We know that the history of this region is very special. The fact that we have 1994 on this sign behind us also is very special, because this is the 20th anniversary of the City of Mississauga and the region of Peel. And for all of those years, in my humble opinion, both the City of Mississauga and the region of Peel have had a phenomenal history of growth and success. I do believe that it is due to the strong leadership that we have always had with dedicated, capable politicians. It is also well known to all of us in political office that we are really just the front people. The people that we depend on for the success of our job are the staff. And if we do our job well, it's because the staff are behind us, helping us. And certainly, from my 7 years of experience and my observations since, the region of Peel has always had exceptional staff who strive for excellence because they are capable and dynamic. And from our current CAO, Mike Garrett, to all the current commissioners and some of the people that are here tonight that served previously on the staff of the region of Peel, I think that the residents of this great region owe all of you, too, a great debt of gratitude. This is a great region, and this is a great province. And I believe that the beginning of any new era, which the inaugural meeting of a council is always a new opportunity. And I certainly hope that each and every one member of this council will be blessed with the strength that they need for this job. It is not an easy job, being in public office, but it is the most rewarding job that I think any one of us could have. And I simply say, as I speak on behalf of David Tilson, Carmen McClelland, Bob Callahan, Steve Offer, Steve Mahoney, John Sola, and myself, that I wish all of you success, health, and above all, happiness in your job for the next 3 years. Congratulations to all of you, and thank you for giving me this honor this night.
Thank you very much, Margaret. Now I'd like to ask our Member of Parliament for Mississauga East to bring greetings on behalf of the federal government. Albina Guarneri, would you like to come forward, please?
Well, it's certainly a privilege tonight to be amongst such august company. But news of your tough election, Emil, did come to Ottawa. But I must confess the pre-printed program as I walked in sort of gave it away. But congratulations to all of you. It's a well-deserved victory. And I'm just as jealous as Mr. Davies over there. You know, it was too easy. But Mr. Davies predicted, his crystal ball predicted that politicians have long speeches and are exceptionally long-winded. And I must confess that before I got on the plane tonight, I was given a 60-page speech. But fortunately for all of you, our wise Prime Minister gave me a very brief note. And I think that's a testimony to his current day popularity. The letter reads as follows. I am delighted to extend my warmest greetings to the members of the Council of the Regional Municipality of Peel on the occasion of its inaugural meeting. All levels of government share the task of ensuring that the needs and interests of Canadians continue to be addressed within a strong and united Canada. I know that you will serve the citizens of Peel with foresight and integrity, strengthening the economy and social vitality of the region. Please accept my best wishes for a productive meeting. Signed, Jean Chrétien, Prime Minister of Canada. I certainly want to add my good wishes to all of you in your deliberations, but I must confess some of the myths that I've had since I've been in Mississauga have been dispelled tonight. Frank, I thought you were a young pup, so I'll never see you through the same glasses again. But I certainly also want to dispel the myth that there is a new breed of politician out there, and we can be short and sweet. And without further ado, I wish you well in the coming years. And I know that you're all hard workers, and I wish you well in your deliberations. Thank you.
I also did receive a letter from the Honorable Lieutenant Governor that I just want to read into the record. As representative of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II in the province of Ontario, I extend my sincere regret that I am unable to be with you this evening. However, in my capacity as the Lieutenant Governor, I must attend the official government duties. I would like to take this opportunity, however, to convey my best wishes to everyone in attendance this evening at the inaugural meeting of the Peel Regional Council. In particular, I want to congratulate all of the mayors and council members on their successful election, and to the newly elected regional chairman, my compliments on your success. As the region of Peel celebrates its 20th anniversary and looks ahead to the challenges of the future, I am confident that the Regional Council will continue to implement responsible management in initiative program and responsive to the needs of the citizens of Peel. With every best wish, sincerely, the Honorable Henry Jackman, Lieutenant Governor. Before we adjourn, and I read the confirming bylaw, I would like to take this opportunity again to thank everyone for coming this evening and making this evening a success. I'd like to thank the staff of Cawthra Park Secondary School, in particular the Vice Principal, Joe Luciana, the Honorable Mr. Justin J.P. Weber, Justice of the Ontario Court Divisional Central West Region of Administration, the declarations for council and the oath of allegiance in the declaration of the qualification to the chair. I'd like to thank Reverend Robert Payton, pastor of St. John's Anglican Church in Mississauga, for delivering the invocation. And I'd also like to thank the Peel Regional Police Force for their assisting in the traffic control, and the Peel Regional Police Force along with the OPP and the RCMP for arranging for the Constable Pennington, Constable Dugay, and Constable Queensville to fulfill the evening's honor and the honor guard duties. Roger Cable 10, Mississauga, will be covering this event this evening, and the proceedings you will be able to see on the air at Roger Cable 10 Mississauga on Sunday, December the 11th at 2:30 p.m., and on both Roger Cable 10 Mississauga and Roger Community Cable 10 Brampton on Tuesday, December the 13th at 7:30 p.m. All of the employees at the Region of Peel who worked behind the scenes to make this evening a success, I want to thank you all again. Again, I want to take this opportunity to thank all of my colleagues for supporting me as regional chairman for the next 3 years. And I want to again thank all of you for coming this evening to making this such a success. And I want to wish you all again a very healthy, happy holiday season, and invite you to join us in the cafeteria for some refreshments. I have a motion then by Pierre Klein and Councillor Cullum that bylaw number 16494 to confirm the proceedings of Regional Council at its meeting held on December the 8th, 1994, and to authorize the execution of the documents in accordance with the regional bylaw relating thereto, be given the required numbers of reading, taken as read, signed by the regional chair and the regional clerk, and the corporate seal fixed thereto. Are there any questions? If not, all of those in favor? Motion's carried. I have a motion by Klein and Cullum that Regional Council now adjourn and meet again on Thursday, December the 9th, 1994 at 1 p.m. or at the call of the regional chairman. Are there any questions? If not, all of those in favor? Carried. I would ask that everyone now stand for the recession for the honor guard, followed by the members of council, please.
You lead off.
And I guess what's going to happen now is there's that music.
The bagpipes. I guess we're going to have to speak up a little as they pipe the party out of the hall.
Out of the hall.
An interesting meeting, Jake. Every speech talked about change, change that will be needed in the relationship between the three municipalities in the Region of Peel, and also between the relationship between the province of Ontario and, of course, the federal government in Ottawa. And it'll be very interesting to see over the next 3 years how we negotiate the kinds of change that I heard the three mayors and the regional chair talk about, because clearly there is only one taxpayer, and I think that's the message they were giving us, and we've got to find ways collectively to do things better, cheaper, more efficiently, and deliver good service to our residents.
Well, I know certainly that all the mayors have always been promoting that, you know, they're always complaining that everybody's downloading on them.
Yes, that's right.
And
always has been the complaint. Even when I was on council, we complained a lot about downloading from the provincial government. But the reality is, Jake, that the people are demanding a little less complaining about different levels of government and a little more cooperation. And I'm really quite confident that if the rest of the province and the country could cooperate the way that we do in the Region of Peel, we would be successful at delivering better service for fewer dollars. And I think the regional chairman, the newly elected regional chairman, is about to join us here.
Oh, is he?
Emil
Wow.
Emil, congratulations.
Thanks, Steve.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Was it a good guess? Like, did you know this was going to happen, or was it a surprise?
Well, I had a lot of support in the last couple of weeks, and a lot of people had come forth and said that they would support me for the next 3 years, and so it was a good feeling going into the election.
Very good. Now, you talked about changes, and what are some of the changes, the challenges that are going to be facing you tomorrow?
Well, some of the challenges are that, and I believe the Mayor of Mississauga outlined them, which I've talked about a lot over the last 3 years, is that we can't have duplication of services, and where we are able to, we must combine those services together, because we're all working for the same taxpayers and the same dollars.
I think, Emil, we all recognize that there's a relationship, of course, between the senior levels of government, so-called, and Hazel's comments that no longer are municipalities children of the province. And frankly, I agree with that. I wonder how you see the relationship, regardless of who is in power at Queen's Park, how you see that relationship changing between the region of Peel and the provincial government over the next 3 years.
Well, Steve, as you know, I like working with people, and I've always said that it is our job when we get elected at this level of government that we must lay the colors aside and work with the government that the people have elected. And we've had that opportunity, I guess, to do that with all 3 levels of government, and I intend to continue to do that. Whoever the people select of Ontario to be the next rulers of Ontario, I will work with them in the same way and in the same vein that I have over the last 3 years.
The region has seen a 0% tax increase during your term, and you've got another term happening. Are we going to still have that, maintain that 0% tax increase?
Yes, we have a new strategic plan that I'm pretty proud of. It's got 10 very important points in that, and I see no reason why we can't deliver for the regional programs that we're directly responsible at a zero budget over the next 3 years. We will, however, have some pressures in police costs, and we will also have some pressures in straightening out the waste dollars. I'm very conscientious about what the public have been saying about police protection for property, not only from the residential side, but from the industrial side also. And through the social contract, as you know, where things kind of got froze, what I see happening in Peel is that there probably will be some opportunities from some retirement for some new force to come on, which will put people back out on the street. But it will mean increase in pressure on the dollars and on the tax dollars, and that's already showing in this year's budget.
Well, I think they're going to haul you away to have some pictures taken, but I want to congratulate you on behalf of all of my colleagues in the legislature. I know that regional council's made a very wise decision in selecting you to lead them again.
Thank you, Steve, and I'm looking to work forward with you as our member of Peel and all of the MPs that we have, and you've always tried to put Peel's position before the people, and look forward to that challenge again.
Thanks, Emil.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Well, there you have it, folks. You've heard
close battle.
That's right. That was your 1994 inaugural meeting of the regional municipality of Peel Council. And Steve, thank you for joining me.
Jake, it was my pleasure. I enjoyed being here on this side of the camera, actually, and instead of sitting up there at the dais as I've done in the past. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And folks, thank you for watching. I'm Jake Deere. Good night.
Hi, I'm Nikki, one of the producers here at Rogers Community 10.
Hi, I'm Rob, one of the volunteers.
On behalf of all the staff and volunteers at Rogers Brampton, we'd like to wish you the very best this Christmas season.
Have a safe and happy New Year, and please don't drink and drive. Merry Christmas!
You're watching Rogers Community 10, Brampton.
A Rogers Community 10 Brampton special presentation. The Brampton Board of Trade presents Traveling the Information Highway. The keynote speaker is Ted Rogers, President and CEO of Rogers Communication Incorporated. From the Holiday Inn in Brampton, Ontario. Hello and welcome to the Holiday Inn in Brampton. I'm Bob May. Today, the Brampton Board of Trade presents Traveling the Information Highway. The keynote speaker is Ted Rogers, President and CEO of Rogers Communication Incorporated. We'll be seeing Ted's speech later. Earlier today, the group of people that are here today broke into several focus groups, and we'll be getting a report from the chairperson of each of those groups as lunch is being served. Group 1 deals with education, training, library media, and entertainment. The chairperson was Tom Drynan, who is the director of the Brampton Public Library. Group 2 is financial service, retail, and business applications. The chairperson is David Sharp, who is the vice president of Scotia McLeod Incorporated. Group 3 deals with land development, public and private utilities, and contractors. The chairperson was Bob Hoshley, who's president of Springdale in Brampton. Group 4 dealt with healthcare and wellness. The chairperson is Bruce Harbour, who is the president of the Peel Memorial Hospital. And finally, Group 5 deals with safety security providers, including police, fire, ambulance, and contractors. The chairperson is Jim Bertram, who is the deputy chief for the Peel Regional Police.
And me, I'm Eric Moyer. I'm the new general manager of the Brampton Board of Trade, only having been here for 6 weeks and just loving the job. And now it's Bob Cranch's turn to take the floor, and I give the mic to him.